Hello everyone, this is the Grumpy Gamer and welcome to part 2 or episode 2 of my Dungeon Defenders Guide series. On this one I'm going to be showing you how to do a glitter Helm caverns run. People just call it glit runs, but what it's good for is power leveling characters. And so this tutorial will be good for beginning and advanced players, or not advanced, intermediate players. Like if you played the game for a while and maybe you're getting ready to create your second character, this episode will show you how to do glit runs, and what you'll be able to do is power level your second class. So let me go ahead and show you the setup. Now I'm going to be doing this as a Squire, so this will be a good tutorial on how to do this as a Squire. If you're new to the game, I highly recommend that you use the Squire for your first character, because honestly it's the easiest one to solo with. And a lot of times you end up having to solo in this game. This game does not have a very friendly community at all, I'll be honest with you. People will kick you instantly. They'll look at your gear then kick you. Sometimes it's more fun to play by yourself. And it's like, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, here's all the maps. Now if you look here on the campaign maps, Glitter Helm Caverns, it's actually the hardest map you can do if you only own the base game. These two maps down here, they're DLC. So it's actually why I chose to show you this map. You can actually power level better on these other maps, I think, or City and Cliffs for sure, but you have to buy that separately. If you own only the base games, this is going to be the map you want to go with for power leveling. Now what I like to do is you set this up on Insane. It's a lot easier and a lot faster if you do it on Insane. And then you put it on Hardcore mode. If you put it on Hardcore mode, you'll get more experience. The drawback to it is that if you die, you have to wait till the end of the wave to respawn, but you shouldn't be dying. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll click here. Here we go. Now actually you can get a character from level 1 to level 70 in just like probably an hour by doing this. You can get to level 74 in probably another hour or two. You level super fast from level 1 to like level 70, then it gets a lot slower. So anyway, if you look at the top left, we are on a time limit. We got 3 minutes to build some defenses. So I don't have a whole lot of time to show you stuff or tell you stuff right now, or show you stuff like stats or anything, so let's go ahead and build. Now if you're an intermediate player, you want to pay attention to what I'm doing. You don't have to do it this way. There's a million different ways to do this. Just the way I do it, it does work. And in fact, I'm so OP'd right now I don't even have to upgrade any of my stuff anymore. I just build it and I'm done. But I'm going to explain some of the logic of what I'm doing. Like these two ballistas, I place them right here. Some people place them at that corner up there. Place them back here, and when they round that corner, they have to take a lot of shots before they even get to the harpoons. If you place them right at the corners, they can get hit a couple times. So I see people build right at the corner, and I don't know why, but I'll place a couple turrets here. Now if your turrets are a little bit weaker, you'll want to go ahead and place a blockade right here. When these guys around the corner, if your turrets don't take them out fast enough, they'll go over to the crystal and hit it. So if you got that blockade there, they'll hit that blockade and they'll have to destroy it before they go around. They're not smart enough to walk around the blockade, so they will attack it till they die. Now this first wave, we're going to get all the chests, so I'm actually showing you the location of all the chests too. And after the second wave's over, I can show you, like, I'll go ahead and show you the stats of my character again. Like I got a tower attack stat of like 2400 or something like that. So I mean, I don't even have to use up all my DU. So this run's not necessarily going to work for everyone. I mean, even if you've got this character, if your towers aren't as good, you may have to build more defenses or something. But this run gives you an idea of how to do it, the strategies involved. Now birds are going to come from here, right where I'm looking from, come around this corner and attack this crystal. So what you want to do is build one turret right here, and I aim it like this, and it's actually covering both both ways. Now I'll go ahead and get some of these last few chests. I'm going a little slower than normal because I'm distracted because I'm talking, but I'm going to be okay. Now this is semi-important right here. I'm going to build 4 catapults right here, or turrets, I mean, or whatever, harpoons. The reason I'm building 4 right here right now and only 2 on the rest, it's not necessary to build 4 because the monster's so strong, but I'm building all 4 and I never have to come back down here again because I've built all the defenses at this end. So you can see it's kind of a long walk down there. So that part, I'm done with it for the entire rest of the game. I'm actually going to be done building by the end of the second wave. So pick up all the mana. And they see, oh, I'm going to go down here and finish this area off. I'm going to build 2 more turrets, but I got to get some mana first. There we go. Well, here we go. I'll build 2 more right here. Now see, if your turret's a little bit weaker, you'll have DUs left over. What you might want to do is place some blockades in front of your defenses. It's just not necessary for me. But basically what I will do when I'm doing this is I'm using an overpowered character to build the defenses. I'm power leveling, and then I'll switch to a lower level character to actually level up the lower level character, because as I explained in episode 1, you get experience for everything that dies, regardless of whether you killed it or whoever killed it, whether a defense turret killed it or a player killed it. So these high level defenses will be able to take everything out, and a low level experience character will get the XP for it. Now I like to build one right here because occasionally what will happen if your turrets are a little bit weaker, the monsters are going to come out the door. Some of them will go to the right and try to attack the crystal up there. Some of them will go this way and try to attack this crystal down here. So this turret right here covers this way and this way. And so as they come out there and come this way, they'll be attacked until they get all the way to the crystal, and this thing will kill them. So I am almost done. Now wyverns like to attack this crystal. The very first 2 ballistas I built, or harpoons, they are covering the crystal so that the birds can't get them. If you're playing this with a little lower stats, you may have to build more, because I'm done building now. You can see I've got like 32 DU left, so I could build walls or more turrets or whatever I wanted. But I'm done building now. I don't have to do anything else this entire match. And so I'm just going to switch to something I want to level up. I'm going to level up my summoner. And we'll go ahead and talk about the summoner a little bit. Now I'll go ahead and hit the G key. This character is not going to have to do anything. The defenses I've built are going to do all the work. Actually, I was supposed to build 2 more right there. I'll be okay. I'll just have to switch back after this wave. I forgot. I'm just supposed to build 2 more ballistas right here. But the summoner is unique in that I explained what DU are, defense units. You only get so many per wave. So many per game. If you look at the top right, I've used up 133 of 165 right now. But the summoner has their own DU. They call them something else. They're not called DU, SU or something like that. I'm not sure, but they get their own. And you can see those at the bottom left. They're right above my health. Right now I'm summoning an archer. Bam, he takes up 4 DU. Let me go ahead and switch back to this guy just to build those last 2 harpoons. I just got distracted talking, so I forgot to build them. There we go. Now we'll put 4 of them right here. Grand total of 4. Now these things will take a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to even have to worry about repairing or anything like that. Now here's something to note too. If you ever change your character, you want to drop your mana, there's a hotkey to drop your mana. For me, it's the control key. I remapped it. You can remap keys in this game, but you have to do it on the launch screen, not once you're inside the actual game. And you drop your mana on the ground and you swap characters, and then the new character will pick it up. If you don't drop your mana, you switch characters, the mana will stay on the character that you switched from, and the new character won't have any. So let me go ahead and talk a little bit more about the summoner. It's more of a support class. Most people don't play with it as their main class. Like me, I just bought it a couple days ago, so my gear really sucks on this thing. Like, I showed you some of the gear on my other tunes. If you look right here, 700, 1100, 600, 350, that's really not good at all. I just got like a myth gear. It's not even upgraded that good. I got a crappy pet. Yeah. But all this is support character. Now I've only had this character for a couple days, and so what this character will do is that if I'm playing on a harder map where I'm actually struggling to win, once all my DUs are taked up, I'll switch to the summoner, and the summoner will build defenses. Then that's what's unique about the summoner, is they get their own DUs, and so they're very helpful. If you're in a match, you join a match, and there's not any summoner around, they will almost always let you build, because it's just a bonus, you know. It's like doubles the amount of DU you get in the match. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit go again. Now, I only plan on building two different things. I build archers and mages. Archers are they just shoot, pretty much what you expect them to do. Now what the mage does, I believe they do shoot fireballs, but more importantly they heal. So what you do is you summon them right behind the archers, and if the archers ever take any damage, this mage is going to heal them. There you go, so you can see them right there. But they have a really, really short heal range, so I mean, this guy's kind of got to pretty much be up their ass. If he was like back here, he'd be out of range to heal him. He's got to be right up against them. I could get, you know, one here, another archer here, another archer here, and a couple more here, and he can heal him. But I mean, he's got to be really close to him before he'll heal him. So like, if you remember the first map I did, the mage's quarters, I'll build those at the top of the archers at the top of every stairs, supported by the mage. I also noticed too, I'm surprised nobody pointed it out, but I never built any defenses at the back of the base. I'd forgotten. And the reason being is because now that I have a summoner, what I started doing is I don't use any, I put archers back there. So if you look right now, if you were to go back and look at that video, the back of my base is completely undefended. And I will get owned at higher waves. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch back to Spardo. Now he's my first character, and he's a builder. Now let me show you what that means. You can have builders, or you can have DPS, or you can have a hybrid. I don't recommend a hybrid. Maybe starting off, I don't know. But at higher levels, your characters need to be really specialized. Now this guy's a builder. What that means is I put all my stats are in the bottom row. This guy's got really good defenses, but he's crappy for health and DPS and everything else. Like this hunter, the huntress I showed you, Mana Girl, she can tear stuff up. This guy right here has a really hard time killing stuff, but his towers are way overpowered. If you see overpowered, if you see this right here, it's 2400. That's pretty good. Tower defense 1200. Range, I wouldn't mind having a little bit higher, but I concentrate. These are your two most important stats right here: the damage and the rate of fire. I try to get those two as high as possible. If you look right there where it says hero plus 120, equipment 2286. So if you remember, every time I level up, I get points to spend. I maxed this one out, and I've maxed this one out. Those are the two most important ones for a character that's a tower build. Now let me go ahead and switch back to Eevee. I won't be using Eevee in this match, but I want to show you that I'm using the same principle with her. So if you look at this, her stats on the top row, they're really weak. Down here in the bottom, I try to boost these up more. This is when I built those buff beams, every one of these stats here, these 4, will add to the corresponding stats of the tower. In other words, if this bonus health's real high right here, it's gonna, with a buff beam, will raise the health of whatever it's buffing real high. So I want this row to be really high. Now all she does is she just buffs and builds walls, so I never play with her. So that top row doesn't have to be very powerful. Now there's a second strategy. Hold on just a second, I need to cough. Okay, sorry about that. A lot of times what people do is they build 2 different Eevees. They have 2 different Eevees, and the reason they do this is the first Eevee, they will boost the health really high, and they will use that Eevee to build walls, and the other Eevee, they will boost the beam damage and beam reset time really high, and beam damage rate or whatever. They'll boost these 2 really high, and they'll use that for buff beams, so they can have really good buffs and really good walls by doing that. But it takes twice as much work because you're having to do 2 characters. Now I don't have that many characters yet. If you can see here, let me go back to here. I only have this guy right here is crap. I never hardly use him. I actually took off all of his gear and gave it to other characters. That was my first character. He's called Apprentice. New to the game, a lot of people, including me, think the Apprentice would have the best towers. He doesn't. The Squire by far has the best. So you see most people build with Squires. So the Sparto here, he's my main builder. Mana Girl, I use her for upgrading. Evelyn, I use her for building buff beams and walls. And this guy I just purchased a couple days ago, I'm going to use him for summoning archers and mages. So anyway, let me go ahead and swap back to Sparta. I'm going to show you a little more of his defenses as we go on here. Okay. Oh, I don't have any mana. Crap. Okay, let me go get some mana. You can see right there, this right there, they got that green bar. That's their health bar. If they don't have the health bar, it means they're at full health. If they've got that little bar, it means they've taken damage. But if you look at the damage he's taken, it's minimal. So in theory, I could repair that if I wanted to, but there's no reason to. You're kind of just being anal when you do that. But sometimes I am. I like to keep everything repaired. So what you may have to do if your gear's not quite as good and you want to try this, you can go ahead and try it. Just you'll have to, if your stats are lower, you can do it probably, but you'll have to upgrade a lot. Once you start getting myth gear, you can probably pretty much do this level on your own. Okay, let me show you his defenses. That's the spike blockade right there. It's just a wall. If they hit it, they take damage also, so it's kind of nice to build. Then you got the bumper thingy here. Bouncer blockade. To me, it reminds me of a pinball bumper. It's probably what it's inspired from. But if they hit that, it knocks them back too. Honestly, I don't see the point of having both of them in there. They're kind of redundant, but they're in there. And next you have harpoon turret. Y'all have already seen that. Let me build something you hadn't seen yet, and I'll show it to you here. Let's go ahead and delete a couple of those, or sell them. This is called bowling ball turret, and this thing shoots bowling balls, and they bounce around. It's more or less sort of like an AOE, because these things bounce around like crazy, and they can hit up to 6 targets before they dissipate. So let's go ahead and get started. You can see they just shoot bowling balls. They just spam the area with bowling balls. They're good for some maps. It's just not... Excuse me, I got hiccups now. Go ahead and pause it for a second. Alright, here we go. So that's the bowling ball turret. You see it's pretty handy. And the last thing is called a slice and dice. And if you look at the green area, that's the area it's going to control. Anything that steps in that green area is going to be hit. And what this thing does, it has a bunch of blades. And whenever something steps in that green area, this thing will, those blades will pop up and start spinning. So everything, it's basically like an AoE. So anything tries to get by here, they'll take AoE damage off that thing. I don't build them a whole lot either. But this is how you do a Glit run. And now what I do is, let me show you what I do after this wave's over. It's semi-important. Oh, by the way, I did want to go over a little etiquette for this. If you notice, I'm having no problem at all doing this by myself. Now, I do this all the time by myself. Sometimes I will get bored and this is a private match, I'll make it public and other people can join and I'll power level them. They don't have to do a damn thing. All they have to do is stand right here and get free XP. When somebody lets you join a Glit run like this, they are doing you a favor. If you slow their game up though, they will get pissed and they will kick you. I will do that. I will usually give a warning that my game, it'll say on the title, you can name your game. It will say Glit run, G fast, or kick. Now what that means is I'm going to be doing this over and over again, getting massive experience. All you have to do is hit the G key to start the next wave, and you do it as fast as possible. The reason you do it as fast as possible, because you get an XP bonus. If you take your time, like if you're level 1 and somebody lets you join their game and you're sitting there looking at all the loot and dicking around and leveling up, like if the level up screen pops up, just hit escape and skip it. Don't slow anybody down. When that guy's letting you join his game, he doesn't need you. You're level 1. He's doing you a favor. Don't slow his game down. And so that's why people complain they get kicked a lot. I don't have a problem kicking people if you let them know what they can do to be kicked. In other words, you let them know the rule of the match. Basically, when I do this, my rule is I'm powering level. I will build with this character. Once I get everything built, I will switch to a low-level character, and then I'll let people join the game. But don't slow my game down, because I don't need you. I'm doing you a favor. All you got to do is hit the G key. You're going to go from like level 1 to level 70 in less than an hour. And so that's the perspective on that. When people kick you, sometimes you deserve it. That's just an etiquette thing. But there are some people who are just dicks that kick you for no reason. Or a lot of times you just don't know the reason, honestly. But I'm just letting you know, if you join a Glit run, have good etiquette. Don't slow anybody's game down. It's not just the guy who kicks you sometimes who wants you kicked. Anybody else who's been playing this game for a while, they know to G fast. They know that you're supposed to hit G as fast as possible, because they might be working on their second, third, fourth, or fifth character. And they know that all the loot on the ground is crap. It's utter crap. At level 70, yeah, this is the last map you can do. After this map, you're going to have myth gear. You will not get any myth gear here. At least I've never seen anything, and I've done this map dozens of times with other people and by myself. For Nightmare mode, you need myth gear. Now, let me show you my gear. And sometimes it's really hard to find a myth game. Or not a myth game, a nightmare game, because you're not geared for it. If you're not geared for it, people will kick you. It used to really be that way, really bad, but the elitists, they've moved on to harder maps. They're not, you know, at the low level nightmare maps. They're at the high level nightmare maps, and those are usually the people who kick you a lot. But forgot what I was going to show you here. Oh yeah, I was going to show you my gear. Now I've renamed this. Once you get to level up your gear just like you level up yourself. You level your pets, weapons, everything else. When you get it up to max level, if you look here, this right at the bottom says upgrade level 74 of 74. Once this thing's completely upgraded, you get to rename it. I just rename it Mel Tower Helm. I'm not very creative. I just want to know what type of armor it is. I want to know whether it's tower or DPS, and I want to know what slot it goes in. So I'll name it Mel Tower Helm and Mel Tower gloves. And this one, it's not upgraded all the way, but if you look at this gear, if you actually want to know what the real name of it is, you can click it and it will tell you, well, it'll tell you what type of armor it is. This one's transcendent, which is one step above myth. So I have a electric gear hammer. This is transcendent, and if you look at what this thing does, look at the very bottom row. It gives a whole lot of stats to your towers. That's considered tower gear. And all my gear, if you look at it, the accessories, they're just kind of, yeah, none of them give that good bonuses. This is still something extra, but all the other gear, look at the bottom row, it's much higher than the top row. All this gear is designed for tower characters. So anyway, that's my guide to how to do a Glit run. You can go back and watch it a couple times, especially the first couple waves. It's going to teach you how to build here. But by the way, let me hold the shift key down. That shows the map. You can see it's kind of like an inverted T at the very north end. Hold on a second. Yeah, let's see where we're going. Yeah, at the very north end. That's the first place. Hold on. We started off. I will kind of go over it for you one more time. We started off in the middle, and you see the 4 green diamonds. That's the crystals. That's what you're trying to defend. So I get this chest, and I go down this branch of the T, get all the chest, and I build on the right branch first, then build towards the middle, and then build towards the left T, grabbing all the chests down the way, and then I build up the middle branch. I put 4 turrets at the very top, so if you can see how far it is away from everything else, I'll never have to go up there again. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to show you that again. If you want to see how to build here, just go back and rewatch the first part of the video. Here's one more thing I didn't point out. It might be self-explanatory, but let me go ahead and point it out. When I hold down that shift key, you can see the little red semicircles. That's where the monsters come out. Normally, when you're actually playing the game, you'll see numbers there. It's going to show you how many monsters of each type are going to come out of that door on each wave. So basically what I want to do is I want to make sure I have defenses between each doorway and every tower. So anyway, this is Grumpy Gamer. Well, appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any suggestions or if you have any questions about this game. I'm pretty knowledgeable as far as helping beginner and intermediate players. I do help players a lot in this game. So if you got any questions, let me know. Well, we'll see you next time.